So again, this is a very chill episode again. It's like episode 1.
Yeah. Although hopefully not so whingy.
Oh, not so whingy. No, we're doing positive things about the podcast.
Yeah. Hello and welcome back to Ramped Up, the podcast all about disability. My name is George Bruss.
My name is Julia Shenko.
And this is our last episode for the season already. We started it in July, and that was for Disability Pride Month. And it really didn't get how we expected, did it, Julia?
No, I think towards the end, it was a little bit more put together, like we actually got the hang of it and we knew what we wanted. I think this time around, we've got a clearer vision of what we want. We already started planning for the new season.
We are. I'll come on to that in a little bit. But
yes, which we have a lot of exciting things planned. Will they go to plan? Who knows? Let's look forward to it.
This episode really is just about a bit of a recap, a bit of a finale, but it's not so grand. You know, it's just sort of in the nicest possible way. It's like episodes 1 and 2. Hopefully a bit more positive, less ranty, but sort of unstructured, just conversational and no guest.
I feel like we should do this for every season, just like an overall round off.
Yeah, just how we think it's going. Just check in with ourselves, check in with you, make sure that you're happy with what we're producing still, because there is no point in having a podcast without guests.
Exactly.
So yeah, this season we really wanted a lot of audience engagement. We didn't get that, which I'm a little bit disappointed about, but it meant that we had something far better. We had guests. And we realised that worked really, really well. And so we're going to keep having guests in season 2. Anyway, I keep talking about season 2. I don't want to talk about that yet. I want to talk about that at the end.
Well, we're looking forward to more guests on the show. Let's put it that way.
Yes, we are. So yeah, today we've not got a specific topic we're talking about. I did find a couple of things there that I do want to bring up. And one of them is a tweet that I'm sorry, I can feel vibrations on the floor. That sound like footprints. But I'm home alone.
Footprints or footsteps?
Footsteps. Is that okay? Am I no longer home alone? Should I be scared?
It's the worst, especially like actually with a bit of a rant. Upstairs, there's like because in this place it's very old floors.
Yeah.
And they keep squeaking. I swear to God, I always feel like someone's walking upstairs when I know I'm home alone because everyone's gone. I'm like, God, why? And I'm always laying down when that happens. I'm just like, God, why? Why are you doing this to me now? Why don't you squeak when someone else is home? And not just when I'm home alone. That would be great to know.
Yeah.
Anyway, back to you.
Sorry. So I think that I found a tweet. That's what I was saying.
That's what it was, the tweet. I'm not on Twitter, which is shocking. I mean, no.
I didn't use Twitter much.
I went on Twitter once, regretted it, and deleted my account. Literally 24 hours later. It's too much.
Yeah. I mean, it depends who you follow. So I follow little on there. And they're very good with politics and just explaining things in a good way and like retweet. Yeah, it depends who you follow. As of any social media, I think, really. But yeah.
Yeah, I mean, but out of all the social media platforms, Twitter's the most vicious one and I hate it. Point is the tweet.
Yes. I follow a person called Creative Lies, or Creative Lies. That's probably how it's pronounced. They're a disabled queer model and photographer. And the tweet goes like this. I feel there's a misunderstanding as to what PIP is for. Always disabled folk say, use your PIP properly and you won't have to worry about being cold or charged medical devices. They then go and say, please look at how much extra on average disabled people spend and look at PIP rates. And not just that, think about being unemployed, disabled person, Think about how much money you as a non-disabled person spend
You.
every month, right?
It's
I
in the
get,
thousands, mate. It's in the thousands.
oh yeah, absolutely. I get as a, now I won't say very disabled, but my disability is obvious and it affects a lot of parts of my life.
Mm.
I don't even
Make
get
it, make it.
500 a month.
Can you round it up so that way it's not like to the exact amount? Just round it up to the nearest hundred.
Yeah, so I get about £500 a month. I get less than that, but we'll say for the sake of argument, £500 a month.
Yeah, I get
And
around. I get
as an unemployed disabled person, with that being my only source of income, that's not a lot, right? So imagine
and I
other
get less
disabled
than
people,
you. I get less
which
than you.
I find shocking.
I get around 300.
Wow.
A little bit more than 300.
But I find that crazy because you're quote more disabled than me, as in you need more help with care.
You would think that, and then when here's the thing, right? With PIPs, you get a report stating how many points you get per category.
Yeah.
And I tell you, I looked at those points. The first time I got the report, I cried on the spot because it made no sense to me. Because through all the people don't realize when you apply for PIP, it's both physically and emotionally exhausting.
Oh yeah.
And like I was more on the emotionally exhausted side because realizing that someone deemed me as I'm more able to do something only because of a conversation they had with me either over the phone or through my paperwork.
Yeah. They just don't get to know you. It's really difficult to say how able you are without meeting you.
But you know what else is crazy to me? The fact that the government is like, oh yeah, technically like not use as much energy, like in terms of like electrical power, whatever.
That makes very little difference.
I mean, makes very little difference, but also when you think about it, for me and you, I don't know how it is, for us, but we don't need to have a device on 24/7, 7 days a week to keep ourselves alive. However, there are some people who use ventilators at night and they need it throughout the entire night if they want to breathe and be alive the next day. Unfortunately, it's the harsh reality. So either way, the energy bill is going to reflect that, whether the government tells you to reduce the amount of energy used or not.
Yeah, and even a non-disabled person, you know, how much money are you going to save using less electricity? Because what are you going to change in your day-to-day life? What are you going to not use your computer? I want to know that.
What do people actually do to use less power in terms of energy? Because let's be fair, you can't sit in a dark house from 4 o'clock, because 4 o'clock is when it starts getting dark. You can't sit at home from 4 o'clock in the morning to 7 o'clock 4 o'clock in the afternoon to 7 o'clock in the morning. You can't sit in the dark for that long.
Yeah.
And like you need to put on your cooker, you need to put on your microwave, you need to use kettle, you need to use your oven. Like you need to use devices. Like how do you expect someone to survive without power? Unfortunately, back in the day, sure, people could use less. And I mean, when I mean back in the day, I mean like maybe in our parents' generation or even older, like they could survive a certain amount of time with electricity. But nowadays, everything is powered by electricity now.
Yeah. If you work from home, how are you going to manage without electricity?
Regardless if you're disabled or not.
Yeah. How many homes now, like new homes, have fireplaces?
Not very many. I can tell you that much.
Exactly.
Unless people actually put a physical one in themselves with their own cost. But let's be fair, no one does that anymore because it's maintenance. You have to maintain said fireplace.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think that reflects the what's the word? The disconnect, the lack of communication between disabled people and non-disabled people. That actually non-disabled people just don't understand. Well, politicians don't understand real people, and non-disabled people don't
although
understand
they
disabled
claim
people.
they do, because apparently they are doing the best they can. Yes, they can do the best they can, but it's the bare bloody minimum, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Like, it's frustrating to me how carer budgets are being cut, how PIP budgets are being cut, how hospital budgets are being cut.
Yeah.
It's not right. Unfortunately, it's not right. And you want disabled people to be able to live semi-comfortably by literally doing the bare minimum for them to survive. But unfortunately, we are also not going to be the top community. We're not the community that will just sit in the shadows all the time. Something else that really frustrates me is people claim people who do have PIPs get a huge amount of money, and that they can literally, they get paid every month a big amount of money, and they don't have to work anymore. Even if they do want to work, they can, but if they don't have to, because they're going to live so comfortably. Unfortunately, not everyone lives comfortably, and PIPs are so distributed so unevenly. It's actually frustrating.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, it's astonishing to me. And again, it shocked me how for the longest time I thought my PIP, although low, was normal. But then I came across other people who also have PIPs. And I remember I told you how much I had in the beginning, and also to one of our friends who was in our group in college, and both of you looked at me with wide eyes saying, how the hell do you get that little amount of money every month? And somehow I survive on that amount of money every month for the last, 2 years. And I don't work. I don't work at all, unfortunately. I wish I could. But again, I'm also a student, and I don't know how it is for some disabled people or people who are more able-bodied than I am, but I don't feel like I'm the sort of person who'll be able to juggle both an education and a full-time job. Like, I don't feel like I could juggle that very well.
No, because being disabled, it's a lot harder for you to do anything. It's a lot harder for you to travel. It's a lot. Your battery runs out quicker. Everything's just a bit more difficult. Yeah.
I think the spoons theory that we got given, what that little explained to us, is a great representation. If you guys don't know what we're talking about, maybe you explain it more than I would, because I'm gonna up.
So let's say that if you haven't heard of the spoons theory, there's this theory where chronically ill or disabled people have a certain number of spoons each day. And we talked about this a little in episode 7, so go check that out. But yeah, if you have, say, 15 spoons, and it takes 1 spoon to get breakfast, 1 spoon to brush your teeth, 1 spoon to get dressed, you run out of spoons very, very quickly.
I mean, no, let's say you got 15 spoons for an average person. An average person would use 1 spoon per task and have enough to last them throughout the day.
Yes. If you're chronically ill, for example, it might take longer for you to get those spoons back at so where a non-disabled person would get them back overnight, it might take 2 nights for the disabled person's spoons to replenish.
Yes.
Sometimes a disabled person might have enough spoons, but they're the wrong type of spoons. They might have ladles, or they might have I forgot what they're called.
Ladles, or I know what you're talking about.
What's that spoon with holes?
Oh no, I don't remember now.
I can't remember.
Strainers?
Something like that. Not quite, but those sorts of spoons, right?
Think about spoons that you use for pasta. There you go. That's about it.
Those. If you have those don't work for the right tasks. That's basically the ideal spoon theory. I explained it really badly, but yeah, I will leave the link of the TikTok in the description for you to go and find.
Yeah, I think that would be a better way of like giving people an idea what we're talking about, but also have a look at our episode 7 with Little.
Yeah.
Because they explain it very well as well. Another
Yes.
thing they also mentioned within that episode that we did about the spoons theory is sometimes people, like, instead of getting a spoon, people could have a candle or a chopstick or just the wrong type of tool for said task, and that not only uses more energy for said person who is either disabled or chronically ill, but also it could make it, did I say longer or harder? What did I just say? It will take longer and it will be harder for said person to do said task. Should we talk about like what we've talked about on the series so far?
Yeah.
Oh, actually, let's do it this way. Let's do from our favorite episodes.
Oh, you know what my favorite episode is? My favorite episode was, I think, episode 3. That one I really enjoyed because I was so passionate about a pride flag.
Yeah. So I think one of my favorite things we've talked about during that episode actually was educating both me and you on the pride flag and what each color meant.
Oh yeah.
Because for the longest time, I never knew what the flag was.
I didn't know we had one.
And once I found it through TikTok, I kind of had a vague idea. But then Joel was like, by the way, there's an updated version, and here you go. And I'm like, oh,
this is cool.
Okay, because I think I saw not the one that we posted on our podcast episode. It's the one before.
The more vivid zigzag one.
Yeah. So I saw the more vivid version. And to be quite fair, coming from someone who saw nothing wrong with it, and then seeing the updated version, and then you explained to me why it was updated, it makes a lot more sense because to me, someone like me, I saw nothing wrong with it. I thought, that's so cool, vivid colors. You can see it somewhere. It's so cool, blah, blah, blah. But then when you think about it, people who have problem like vision and like, what did you say was it? Is it overstimulating?
It didn't say which form of disability, but just that it wasn't accessible due to a brightness and array of colors.
Yeah, so basically maybe that is for being too like overly stimulating, probably.
Oh yeah.
And that makes sense. But obviously coming from someone who hasn't got a overstimulation from looking at something, it made no sense to me until someone explained it to me. But honestly, it's so nice that this entire community, like our disabled community, created a flag with keeping in mind about other disabilities and getting them involved and
making the different kinds of disabilities.
Included into said flag. Because I think that's so freaking cool. One flag, though, the version of the flag that I hated the most is the gold, silver, and bronze flag.
Oh yeah. I forgot about that one.
I think you said there was the first one that they ever did, like the first version. And I looked at after that episode, I looked it up. I'll be honest with you, although in theory it makes sense, it just doesn't translate well to like able-bodied people.
Yeah, I can't remember what it stood for, what it looks like.
I think it was for the Olympics.
Paralympics, it might be linked to that.
The Paralympics with the gold, silver, and bronze. But I think we talked about it on the episode. I think it was about the fact that I said that it's kind of categorizing people into silver, gold, silver, and bronze, and then making it feel like a hierarchy about which disabilities are more superior to others. And it was a huge jumbled mess, I feel like. Well, I feel like now, the flag that we have now is a lot more better. It's a lot more thought through. And I honestly love it. Honestly, I'm actually thinking, Joel, that because I'm in uni now, just so that viewers know, I'm in uni and we're going to plan on doing a disabled society. And I'm thinking of doing custom stickers with our pride flags.
Ooh, I would 100% buy them.
So I'm thinking of
I
doing
would
that.
I would easily pay £15 for a badge. I'm saying that's how much I want one.
Not a badge. It'll be badges, stickers, and maybe even all like pins. Maybe.
Yeah,
Even.
I want a pin. Get me
You
a
know
pin.
what? Well, if we do make that happen, Joel, I will make sure to give you a sticker packet, a pin, and a what's the other thing I said? Sticker,
A
pin,
badge.
There you go.
It sounds like a good deal.
Yeah,
So I very much want one.
it's an exchange for editing our amazing podcast videos, which it takes a long time.
Let's come on to that in just a little bit. You mentioned for gold, silver, and bronze flag, which you're right, it was sort of double meaning between the different types of disability and the Olympics, Paralympics.
Yes.
And I couldn't remember what they stood for, but there were quote unquote 3 categories of disabilities are physical, mental, that's intellectual, or psychological, psychosocial even. And the third is sensory.
But yeah, again, it kind of messes me up because let's think about it. Physical, they will say, "Oh, it's gold because it's most common. People know about it. People see it every day."
And yeah, it's like that ranking of disabilities,
exactly.
like which is worse, which is easier, and that's not right.
And I feel like for someone who's not disabled and who is able-bodied, like that would make sense to them. Like, oh yeah, let's categorize said people into these 3 categories. While the new flag has not only more colors in it, has more categories, but people can be part of more than one category.
Yeah, and
which is amazing.
It's not this sort of rank. It's not a leaderboard of which disability is worse.
It's kind of messed up a little bit, don't you think?
But yeah, the gold, silver, and bronze. Yes, absolutely.
Anyway, more or less, we love the current flag.
Yeah.
Yes, we love it. We love it. And it makes sense. Let's be fair. If you went to a pride march, Joel, hypothetically, right?
Yeah.
It would be like an amazing flag to wave around, don't you think?
Yeah, absolutely.
Like I remember I looked at all the current LGBTQ plus community flags, like all the different kind of sexuality flags, and putting in our flag. It actually works really well. Sure, it's a bit more pastel and a bit more subtle than the other flags.
Yeah.
But like it flows really well. So if we were to include it during a pride march, it would work really well with it. And I appreciate that. So I have a tie between 2 episodes I love. One of them was our first episode, which forever will be my favorite episode because we just had a free conversation. Again, I'm kind of sad we didn't call it therapy session because it felt like a therapy session when I listened back to it, but that's, more or less. So my other favorite episode is with Bao. And
what do you like about it?
I don't know. I think it was the whole atmosphere of the entire episode. It was so light and bubbly, and I think that was a good fresh. They were our first guests at the time.
Yeah.
And also, it gave such a breath of fresh air because I feel like after a couple of episodes, I'm not including the flag one and the first episode, but the ones in between that episode with Bao and with the flag and the first episode and second episode, whatever, because we split the first one into 2 basically.
Yeah.
But the first episode, the episode with the flag and Bao's, and then the ones that were in between, I kind of felt like we were complaining a lot and we were kind of dampening the whole mood of it. Because all the episodes in between the flag podcast episode and the first 2 episodes was kind of dampening, and me and you had to talk about this, that we felt like we were complaining into the world and nobody really cared and anything like that. But I think once we had Bao on the show, because it was really good to actually talk with someone else, not just between us two. Not saying that I've got anything against you, Joe. I don't. It's just, it's kind of have a new breath of fresh air and a new topic to talk about. And it's also great to learn about other people's disabilities.
Oh yeah, 100%.
It's amazing. I mean, we had, I think, was it 3 guests on the show of this season?
Yes.
Because it was Little.
Yeah, Little Bao and Natalie.
Natalie, yes. But in general, like, all of our guests were bloody amazing. I love every single one of them. Sure, maybe we don't have like a emotional connection or like a personal connection, like we talk every day, whatever. But like, again, it's just great to talk to fresh new people.
Yeah.
And hopefully we will get to do more in the future, because I prefer this kind of episodes, to be fair.
Yeah. I think this episode is going to be a bit shorter. It was really just a
round
recap
of episodes, so it's just a recap, yeah.
Yeah. And the main reason for this episode at all, really, is to tell you about season 2, which is we're already planning.
It's in progress.
We are. We're going to take a couple months break. We are recording this on the 3rd of October. And on the 3rd of December, there will be an episode. Now, why the 3rd of December, I hear you ask? It is International Day of People with Disabilities.
Again, that's a very long title.
And the episode will not be called that, because that is too long.
But we will cover the reason why we think it's not an appropriate title in that episode. Just hold on tight while you wait for it, please.
Yes. We're also doing a couple of different things that I'm going to talk to Julia about as soon as we finish recording. One of those things will be a video format. We started doing it a little bit on YouTube for this series, where it's a bit inconsistent, and I didn't have the right tech and stuff to do it.
It's only available on the first 2 episodes, Joel. Don't get yourself too excited there. It's only happened on the first 2 episodes, only reason because one, we didn't know. Oh, that's not true.
No, the reason it was video is because
episode is actually a video, which is quite cool. But I feel like we kind of didn't anticipate our guests either not being comfortable on camera.
That wasn't the reason.
I mean, I think that Natalie wasn't very comfortable on camera.
Yeah, but that wasn't the reason that happened. The reason was I used different software to edit the other episodes, because what happened was when I did episodes 1 and 2, they were recorded on the same day, and I edited them together. I used my phone. I actually used CapCut.
Oh God! Okay, on your phone also.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's why I didn't do that again.
How were you okay after that traumatic experience? Because I wouldn't be okay. I would start crying.
Yeah, it was difficult. That's why I did it again. But because I edited with CapCut, I had a video, and I converted the video to audio, but I still had the video copy. That's why that's the only version that is a video on YouTube.
Available, yeah.
Exactly. If I did the video for the other episodes, I would have had to re-edit every single episode, and I was like, no thanks. Because if you're editing audio, it takes me about it depends based on how long the episodes are, obviously, and how many mistakes we make. And so
I remember Bao's episode.
But,
you were just like, you were like, Julia, help me. It's so much to do. I'm like, Joe, I don't know what to tell you. We just started talking, and this is what happened. So now we don't know what to do. But no, it was a great episode.
Yeah. But yeah, it takes a long time to. I'm not going to do all the video editing now. But yeah, I'm going to commit to something. Well, apparently I committed to this podcast, so that's one of the only things I've ever committed to.
Let's see how long that lasts. I'm being serious. You'll see how long that lasts. I'm gonna wait for the phone call to be like, Julia, I can't do this anymore. Can we just go back to the audio? I'm like, do what you want, mate. I don't care.
We're also going to be more active on our social media. I know that I'm on TikTok and I'm posting stuff I see. Julia's on Instagram, so we've kind of got our two main platforms.
I mean, Instagram's a bit slow at the moment because I'm recovering from surgery at the moment,
Mhm.
but I'm hoping to get back on it as soon as possible. If not this week to be back on it as consistently as I was before, then it will be next week. But I will be back constantly posting, whether that will be content about our podcast or sharing disabled creators on there as well.
Yeah.
With
highlighting other disabled creators is very much something that we want to do.
Give them also like a
bit of a boost.
Creators basically. Because I think through TikTok, me and you discovered quite a lot of disabled creators.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Like once I started following them on TikTok, they're also flooding in. I'm like, I love this. It's such a positive little like community.
That's why I like the TikTok algorithm.
It's like
you follow a bit, I mean,
you like one video or you follow one person, it comes gushing in, and I'm like, yes,
I'm here for it. Yeah,
I'm here for it. I mean, yes, I have the stinky video every now and again with people being very mean to disabled creators or judging them or whatever, which I think it could be a topic we could cover next season. But like, honestly, it's just such a positive community, and also those creators handle negativity in a much, I want to say, classier version, in a classier way, because like they don't attack said person. They calmly explain to them, you know what, this is your point of view, and this is what you believe. However, this is the reality, and if you want to believe it or not, it's your concern to believe it or not, which I appreciate so much, and I have so much respect for those people. But obviously, although we have those two said platforms plus our YouTube channel, it may be a bit of a plug, and I'm not sorry, but but please do follow us on those platforms. We would love everyone to either follow our channels and our accounts, but also share it further with other people. Please do share, not repost, but like please do share and just make a bigger audience know about, hey, this is a community that is starting up. We would love to have you guys on it. We would love to get you guys' comments. We would love to get you guys' opinions on what you guys want to see, because right now we are just thinking of things that we wish to see online and we wish to hear about from said disabled creators. But at the same time, we would like to know what the public wants to hear. And
go follow us on ramped-up.podcast on TikTok and Instagram. You can also email us ramped-up.podcast@gmail.com. And there's another one that we have.
YouTube channel.
YouTube. Guess what our YouTube channel is called? Ramped Up Podcast. We'll leave all of the links in the description of this episode. And something else that I'm doing that sort of linked to our podcast, but isn't at all, is I'm starting to put
oh, John.
You know what that was?
I'm like, broken record much. Cool, Joe. It's been a long day. It's been a very long day.
It has. I had so many difficulties today.
Well, I can relate.
I
don't even know what you wanted. Like, normally I'm very good at guessing in between the lines of what Joel wants, because like he would either make a very big. No, he like makes hand gestures, or he would like try and get something out, and I'm like, "Do you mean this?" He's like, "Yeah, I do." I'm like, "Yep." But this time around, I have no idea. I can't tell what he wants.
Okay, I thought you were going to read my mind again. No.
No, it's gonna be nice. I was gonna be a nice version of what I was gonna say. So be thankful for that one.
I'm starting up a Discord community.
Oh yes, speaking of Discord, I need to set mine up.
You set up an account and I'll invite you to the server.
Yes, I need to
We
do
are
that.
making this server for disabled people. If you're an ally, I guess you can do it. But this is really for disabled people. We'll be sharing resources, information, stories, experiences.
Yes.
And because we found sharing our stories so helpful, we want to continue that basically. And just do it on a much bigger platform than just a podcast. We don't have a release date for that yet. We've got a lot of prep to do still. But that is something that is in the works and we will talk more about in season 2.
Yes, we are hoping to pre-record a few episodes before December 3rd. Again, we are hoping to get more guests on. And I think, Joel, if you would agree with me, through the Discord server, if people do follow us on the Discord server and do, interact with us on that server or just on social media in general, we would love to maybe get viewers on the podcast maybe one day.
Absolutely, 100%.
Like, I would love to get like our viewers there and be like, hey, this is my story, I want to share it, so why not?
Oh yeah, but we'll talk more about this in season 2 because we've got a lot of plan to do before we talk about this.
We've got a lot of plan and we have a lot of ideas. It's just to put them into reality now.
Yes.
It's about to happen.
Yes.
But yeah, so we
and I need to get a job, so I don't know when I'm going to fit all this in. But I'm disabled, so I'm going to struggle to get a job.
And I'm also in university, so this is great. We are hoping to get everything prepped enough for December 3rd for the season to start again. So yeah, this is very exciting. We are very excited.
Oh yeah, we are. I don't know if I can hear in my voice at all how excited I am, how hyper I am. I'm falling off a chair.
Joe is actually very excited, but like his voice is always in monotone. So
you think my voice is monotone?
No, sometimes you go high pitch, but like when you talk for a long period of time, it just slowly goes. And I'm like, he's very excited, but you just can't tell.
Yeah.
But no, exciting things are happening. Exciting things are happening. Yeah. And yes, please do share this podcast episode.
Yeah.
With your family, your friends.
Every single disabled person you know.
Exactly. And please follow us on all of our social media platforms. We would love to hear you guys from you guys more. And yeah, we hope to see you guys in season 2.
Yeah. We have a new cover art already. We know what our cover art is going to be. But anyway, we'll reveal
Which
that.
I will find out very shortly. So
you already know what it is.
No, I know roughly the colours, but like I don't know which one is official.
Well, you'll find out.
So this is what I mean by I will find out in a second. All right then. So thank you guys so much for watching.
Or listening. Re-listening. You're not watching this because I'm not doing video editing.
Thank you so much for listening.
Not video editing this.
This is bloopers. This is going to be a blooper reel.
I am definitely doing a blooper reel. I am doing a blooper reel.
Yes, let's do it to round off this season. A blooper reel to round off the season. Like keep an eye out on that for the social media pages. There will be a blooper. There'll be bloopers. I'm sure Joel has 101 of them because I keep messing up.
And I keep messing up. I keep falling off my chair. I keep not speaking. I keep going.
I can just tell if we do a video version of our podcast series next season, it's gonna be a compilation of Joel just falling off chairs for the entire season. I can just feel it happening. I'm just gonna wait and see if that's gonna happen. And if my tuition is correct, you owe me £10. That's gonna happen.
Yeah.
You owe me £10.
I'll give you my address so that if I fall and really hurt myself, you can call an ambulance for me.
Good idea. I'll do that. Don't worry. All right then. Thank you guys so much for watching.
No.
Yes. No.
Listening.
What are we doing?
Listening.
Thank you guys so much. Again, bloopers. Thank you so much for listening, and we will see you in season 2 in a few months' time.
Goodbye.
Bye. We messed up our outro though, because we were meant to say Julia Senko and Joel Sprouse.
Yeah. Which sounds better, Joel Sprouse and Julia Shenko, or Julia Shenko and Joel Sprouse?
Your name is always first on all of our platforms, though.
It is, but which sounds better? Mine is first because I'm the one who created them.
Joel Sprouse and Julia Shenko. No, your one makes sense because I like the way it sounds.
Yeah.
Let's try. No, let's try it. Let's try in both ways and see which one sounds better.
Yeah. Oh, you want us to do it
the
like
outro,
okay.
the outro, and we'll just do like a little sample.
Oh well, hang on, man. If we're doing an outro, you do the outro. You say your name, and then I'll say my name. We'll swap reversals. Swap roles. We'll reverse our roles.
Yeah. All right.
We'll swap reversals.
Thank you guys so much for listening. My name is Julia Shenko.
And my name is Joel Sprouse.
I hate the way that sounds. Bye. No, I hate the way that sounds. Please, let's just do the original.
Okay,
you
cool.
First,
At least we've now properly decided whose name is first.
Not saying you're superior, it's just it sounds better.
Yeah. It's like dad and mum. You don't want to say dad and mum.
Do you realize that both of our initials are JS?
Oh yeah, I knew that. I wrote in notes. Like Jay said this. I was like, oh wait, I can't say that. Because
JS. J is Julia, no. J is Joel, but then JS Joel Sprouse, JS Julia Shenko.
Yeah.
What do we do now?
Yeah. Wait, what's the initial of your middle name?
I don't have a middle name.
Oh, I have a middle name. I'm better than you.
I was not blessed with a middle name. My brother was blessed with a middle name.
Before we finish up for this episode, I want to give a shout out to Scope. So on Sunday, I was at the London Marathon. I did not complete the marathon. I cannot. Anyway, I supported Scope, which is the disability equality charity. Basically getting equal rights for disabled people. I've been supporting them for a while. Go check them out. But yeah, it was really nice to see how many different charities there were. How many different disability charities as well. There was the one I can't remember.
I only know of one, which is Shine.
Shine. That's new. I knew it began with S. I'd never heard of it until yesterday.
I actually was supported by them for a couple of years, actually.
I wonder because it's hydrocephalus and scoliosis, both of which you have.
Yes, I have both of them, and yeah, they've been absolutely amazing. They support young children as well as people. I think it's until the age of 21.
Right.
And yeah, they do support people with scoliosis and
hydrocephalus.
Thank you, hydrocephalus. Can't always pronounce that.
Well, mind reading between us is just impeccable.
It's impeccable, isn't it? And yeah, they're amazing. They do support a bunch of different like events. Yeah. So one of them is being the marathon. They also did another charity, like collecting money for charity. They did kind of like a sports day kind of thing for disabled children. And I remember at the time I did a egg and spoon race.
Mm.
Again, did I win? No, but did I get a plastic bottle for participating? Absolutely. And they are just an amazing little family. Even though I don't use them as per se to like get involved in different activities anymore, I do once in a while follow check out their Instagram page. They have a lot of great content there. They have a lot of amazing resources. I remember some of my friends in primary school and secondary school were very interested in my disabilities, and I always directed them towards Shine because Shine has amazing resources on there. I even learned a lot about my own disability through them. since I was a child. Hence why I am more confident in telling people about my disability because I know the knowledge and I have it, which I'm always grateful for. And if please do support them and do show some love to them, because they're continuing doing research and continuously supporting young children and adults with different type of situations, different types of like therapies and stuff like that. So they're amazing.
All right, thank you. Yeah, there are other charities there as well, like Great Ormond Street, who I've had like 15 plus operations there. And with kids is for young children, young people who have wheelchairs and I think other mobility aids. And just provide training.
They provide a bunch of mobility aids. I believe some of them are like walkers, some are walking sticks. I do believe they provide hoists, but don't quote me on that. I don't really know 100%.
Go check them out.
But please do check them out because they have amazing resources on there about different types of mobility aids and type of people that use those mobility aids, which is great.
So yeah, those are all our promos done, all our unofficial sponsors.
We're hoping to maybe get sponsored by them, or if not, have them on our show because that would be great.
That would be
idea for next season.
Yeah.
Again, we have so many ideas, but will they all come to reality? God knows. So we'll see.
We'll find out. We'll find out one day.
We'll see where time takes us. Because right now we're like, yeah, we'll do this, this, and this. And it might not happen, so no promises there. But what we do promise is more guests on the show. That's definite.
Yes. Oh, I found what I was looking for before.
For what?
Trigger warning for religion. I know that a lot of disabled people have had bad experiences with religion. With people praying for you without permission. And the way I look at it is this, right? I'll take myself as an example. I'm disabled, my legs are shortened, and don't work as conventional legs. They're brilliant legs, they just don't work as normal legs. But yeah, I think some people will come up to me and just pray for me and pray for my healing. From a Christian point of view, which I'll talk about because I was raised a Christian, and it's very often Christians who pray for me.
I mean, Catholics are the same, I feel like.
Oh, yeah, sorry, yeah. Catholics and Christians, yeah.
Yeah, but Catholics are more extreme, I feel like.
Yeah, but they'll come up and pray for you without you wanting them to. Think about what they're doing from their perspective. They believe that Jesus is the most powerful anything, like more powerful than anyone else. All powerful, right? So they're essentially taking the most powerful tool, quote, to change your body without permission. And think about how chaotic and damaging that would be if I was to take an able-bodied person and use the most powerful tool I could find to change their body without their consent. I'd go to prison.
But and also, so it kind of makes people insecure about their bodies and about their personality. Like I was insecure all my life until recently.
Yeah, and so there's also this idea that disabled people aren't good. They're
although they're not happy.
They're unsuitable for the world and stuff like that. And so I want to give this to any Christians who would be like that. It's unlikely that they'll hear this, but any Christians who would pray for someone, particularly without asking for permission, I want to read you this Bible verse from John 5, verse 6. When Jesus saw him, so this is the paralyzed man, I believe.
Yes.
Healing at the pool.
Yes.
Yeah, so there's a man paralyzed. And the verse goes, when Jesus saw him lying there and learned that he had been in this condition for a long time, he asked him, do you want to get well? That is really important because Jesus isn't just saying, hey, everyone else is like this. Hey, this is how you're supposed to be. Let me make you this. No, Jesus asks for permission.
Yes.
He says, do you want to be healed? Is this what you want?
Mm-hmm.
And it's only once permission is given that Jesus heals. And I think that's so important and so
Does he
overlooked.
does he confirm that yes, he wants to get healed?
Yeah.
Okay. I believe he did, because he did start walking, I believe.
He did. Yeah. I've lost my note now. I lost the point I made. Yeah. So
the point was
Jesus
that
asks
God
for permission.
gives permission. Yes.
Yeah. Jesus asks for permission to heal the man. He doesn't force it on anyone. He doesn't force his way or his will on others. He wants to help, but wants to be allowed to help. He wants.
Yes.
Yeah. He asks for consent, which is what everyone should do.
But another thing that makes me kind of, because Christians are like, oh, it's all about, having good intentions. Yes, you can have good intentions, but they also teach that everyone is made in God's image or in God's vision.
Yeah, that's the other one.
So
yeah.
if someone is disabled,
particularly
you
if they're
can
born
kind
disabled.
of put it, if they were born disabled or become disabled, it falls under the umbrella of it's God's plan or it's God's will to make this person the way that they are. So why would you change that?
Yeah.
If this is God's creations, God's sacred work, God's full intentions and planning, whatever, then why? Just why? Just why? Why would you think it's a good idea to, one, force a disabled person to be uncomfortable, and two, say things to them that mean well but actually are more damaging than doing good?
Yeah.
Because I feel like a lot of young people are stirring away from religion, specifically people with disabilities, because of those views, because they are not deemed suitable or not deemed well enough or should change to be better for the world, when in reality that shouldn't be the reality they have to face. Instead, live their life the way they want to, and if they do die happy with what they did in their life, that's good. That's all anyone could ever ask for, is, are you happy with yourself by the end of your life? Are you happy? If the answer is yes, clearly God and yourself have done something right.
Yeah.
Because I wouldn't say my life is miserable, and I'm a Catholic. I'm a Christian, sorry.
Yeah.
So that just proves it all, doesn't it? I mean, maybe that's why I don't do religion anymore.
So that rounds us up for this episode and for this season. We've finished series 1 of Ramped Up, and I'm so glad that we've done this because it's given us, as we say, so much to improve upon, and we know what we're doing at last. We know our format, we know our plan roughly, and we're confident now. Yes. We're more confident in front of camera, and we're more open, I think, as well.
Yes, I think once we've shared our stories, now it's a lot more easier to talk about certain subjects and certain things with others without holding it all in, I guess.
Yeah. So that's it for the next 2 months. I'm going to miss you all.
Yes, please do follow us on our social media, because we will be posting and updating you guys
absolutely. Non-stop.
Throughout the few months before we come back on December 3rd.
Yeah.
So we are not abandoning you guys forever. We're not abandoning you guys. We are just taking a time to collect ourselves, pre-record a few things, and have everything prepared and ready for the launch on the 3rd.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's it for the season. Thank you so much for joining us. It's meant so much to us. Keep safe and look after yourselves. But that's it for now from me, Joel Sprouse.
And me, Julia Shenko.
Have a
See you
wonderful
next season.
Bye.
Bye.